Here she is at the 2022 Forbes Power Women's Summit.
On a set, I knew that they just wanted me to show up and look cute and stand on a little pink sticker where I'm supposed to go and say what I'm supposed to say. But I also knew that that wasn't fulfilling for me, that I wanted to be a part of the storytelling, that I wanted to be a part of the narrative, whether that be in the writing, in the costume design, in creating the character. And sometimes I had directors or producers or writers who would welcome that and invite that once they saw that I was able to offer that. And sometimes I would have people who really resented that because they were like, we just hired you to be an actor. Yet when I went in the meetings, I would just seem like I'm just there to be the actor and ready to get the gig. I wouldn't reveal that I actually need to have authorship in order to feel fulfilled. So I think that for them, sometimes that might have felt like a rug pull because you're like, you're trying to assert yourself into something that we didn't hire you to do.
She's a Me Too victim there. That's absurd. She seems like kind of a jerk. Wow, she's like kind of a bully. She's rather mean. This guy who had, comparatively very little power was forced now to come out and tell the truth about Blake Lively.
I really don't like this woman. I am so angered by her ability to think she can just take control and she knows better. Because of Justin's cut and a lot of stuff that happened, she realized they had a hit on their hands.
I take on more than I can chew. I say yes to things out of fear. I people please.
You'll remember the director accused Blake and her husband, Ryan Reynolds, of using their power to steal the movie from him.
I woke up at 4:30 this morning. My heart was racing. I'm noticing that, I'm having some anxiety.
Justin's attorney says the harassment allegations have left the star devastated financially and emotionally.
A lot of it's my real life clothes or my husband's clothes or my girlfriend Gigi's clothes. I was borrowing some.
Wait, that's kind of amazing. So you have something of Gigi's in the movie.
Yeah, like a wedding, like something old, something borrowed, something blue. So I'm wearing her stuff all over it.
Oh, really?
Tons of Bodhi, which is with the suit now that I'm wearing is Bodhi. It was meant for my husband, but I borrowed it.
His suit?
It was meant for him to wear. But it's so pretty. Look at it. You guys are not.
Hold on tight. Hollywood's latest bombshell is shaking the very foundations of friendship and trust in Tinseltown. Hugh Jackman, the man known for his larger-than-life on-screen heroics and down-to-earth persona off-camera, has allegedly confirmed that his trusted pals, Blake Lively and Ryan Reynolds, tried to pull one of the most outrageous pranks ever, setting him up in a scandalous love trap, straight out of the infamous Justin Baldoni playbook. And folks, this isn't just idle gossip. It's a story that has every Hollywood insider whispering, "Can you believe this?" Let's cut straight to the chase. Imagine waking up one day to learn that your best buddies, the dapper and ever-charming Ryan Reynolds, along with the effortlessly stylish Blake Lively, have been scheming behind your back, not for a harmless laugh, but to meddle in your love life as if it were their personal matchmaking project. This is where the narrative takes a dark twist. What began as friendly banter has spiraled into an allegation of betrayal so audacious it defies belief. Were they genuinely trying to set you up for happiness, or was it a calculated move to manipulate your personal affairs for their own gain? The lines are blurring fast, and the stakes have never been higher. Dig deeper into this tangled web, and you'll find that the dynamics between these celebrities are anything but ordinary. The bond between Hugh Jackman and Ryan Reynolds is legendary, publicly celebrated through witty social media exchanges and blockbuster collaborations that have earned millions of fans over the years. But behind the laughter and camaraderie, there's an undercurrent of tension when trust is questioned. And then there's Blake Lively, whose forays into matchmaking aren't exactly new to the Hollywood scene. Known for her impeccable taste and a knack for stirring up drama, Blake has a history of intervening in her circle's romantic affairs. Could it be that her well-intentioned interference is masking a far more manipulative agenda? This is where the plot thickens. Remember the Justin Baldoni incident? That scandal, filled with leaked messages and unexpected fallout, set a precedent for what happens when personal relationships become the playground for celebrity power plays. The echoes of that controversy are impossible to ignore here. Insiders are buzzing with speculation that what happened to Baldoni might be replaying itself, only this time with Hugh Jackman as the unsuspecting target. The whispers around the set hint at secretive phone calls, cryptic texts, and even a few suspicious social media posts that suggest this wasn't a random act. It was orchestrated, a high-stakes setup designed to shake up the personal lives of some of Hollywood's most revered figures. But what's the motive behind this alleged coup de main? Were Blake and Ryan really looking out for Jackman, or was this all just a smokescreen for something bigger? Some sources claim it was a misguided act of friendship, a desperate attempt to help Hugh find love in the labyrinth of Hollywood's dating scene. Others argue it was a strategic maneuver, a way for the duo to deflect attention from their own controversies and refresh their public image with a bit of scandal. Think about it. In an industry where every whisper can turn into a headline, the benefits of a little misdirection can be enormous. And when you're dealing with powerhouses like Blake and Ryan, nothing is ever as simple as it seems. As the story unfolds, the reactions from Hollywood's inner circle have been nothing short of explosive. Social media is ablaze with opinions. Some fans cheer on the bold, albeit questionable intervention, claiming that true friends sometimes cross boundaries in the name of love. Others are outraged, condemning the alleged manipulation as a blatant breach of trust that exposes the seedy underbelly of celebrity relationships. Not to mention the silent looks and hushed conversations at industry parties, those unspoken signals that hint at a deeper, more systemic problem in the way personal lives are toyed with in the spotlight. Celebrities like Jennifer Lawrence and Chris Hemsworth, known for their candid takes on industry scandals, have been quick to dismiss such meddling as manipulative and dangerously irresponsible. And then there's Leonardo DiCaprio, who, despite his own battles with the media, has often maintained that true friendship respects personal boundaries. Their implicit condemnations add fuel to an already blazing fire of controversy. Now, let's talk about Hugh Jackman's own response. Allegedly, the news of this covert matchmaking ploy hit him like a ton of bricks. Known for his calm and composed public persona, insiders say that Hugh was visibly taken aback when he first learned about the scheme. Was he laughing it off as another Hollywood prank? Or was there a flicker of hurt in his eyes? A sense of betrayal that cut deep? Reports suggest that while he maintained a veneer of humor in public, behind closed doors, he was reeling from the unexpected invasion of his personal life. Imagine the sting of realizing that your closest friends, the very people you trust to have your back, might have been toying with your heart for reasons you never agreed to. This isn't just about matchmaking gone awry, it's about the fundamental betrayal of trust. A betrayal that shakes the very core of what friendship means in an industry built on illusion and spectacle. And what about the bigger picture? This isn't an isolated incident. It's a stark reminder of the darker undercurrents running through Hollywood's glittering facade. When personal relationships become fodder for media manipulation, when trusted friends turn into puppet masters of someone's private life, it signals a disturbing trend. It forces us to confront uncomfortable questions. Where do we draw the line between friendly intervention and outright manipulation? How much of what we see in the glossy pages of celebrity magazines is really genuine care? And how much is a carefully constructed narrative designed to keep us hooked? These aren't just idle musings, they're reflections of a culture where every personal moment is dissected, repackaged, and sold to the highest bidder. And in this ruthless game, even a well-intentioned act can spiral out of control, leaving emotional wreckage in its wake. Let's not forget the ripple effects this scandal might have on the careers and reputations of those involved. In an era where every tweet and Instagram post is scrutinized and every careless word can ignite a wildfire of controversy, one misstep is all it takes for a star's image to be dismantled piece by piece. The actions attributed to Blake Lively and Ryan Reynolds, whether driven by a misguided sense of camaraderie or a calculated bid to divert attention, are now being dissected by an audience that demands nothing less than perfection from its icons. Each revelation adds fuel to a media frenzy that's nearly impossible to contain, where every leaked snippet or offhand comment becomes a headline. And as this chain reaction continues, it could well reshape the power dynamics within Hollywood, setting a precedent that even the most established names might find themselves at risk of public humiliation or professional setbacks. As other stars watch with bated breath, the question looms: who's next on the matchmaking chopping block? In the hyper-connected world of celebrity culture, every relationship is a potential target for ruthless paparazzi and opportunistic social media users. With every move now under a microscope, the industry is forced to confront a deeper, more insidious trend. A trend where personal autonomy is sacrificed at the altar of public image. The shockwaves from this scandal don't stop with one celebrity's misfortune, they ripple outward, touching every corner of Tinseltown. It's as if the very fabric of friendship in Hollywood is being rewoven by invisible hands, where loyalty is no longer a given, but a currency to be traded and manipulated in boardrooms and behind closed doors. By now, you might be wondering if there's any hope left for salvaging true friendship in an environment so deeply steeped in calculated moves and secret agendas. The answer, as messy as it may be, lies somewhere in the blurred lines between genuine loyalty and cold, hard manipulation. Some argue that friends should be allowed to meddle if it's meant to help, if it comes from a place of genuine care and concern. But when the actions cross the line into a blatant violation of trust, when those supposed acts of kindness turn into power, plays designed to control someone's personal life, they leave scars that are not easily healed. The unspoken trust that binds even the closest of allies can shatter in an instant when personal boundaries are trampled without remorse. And as more evidence surfaces, from hushed, whispered conversations in dimly lit studios to leaked voicemails that hint at an elaborate conspiracy, the truth becomes harder and harder to ignore. The glossy veneer that Hollywood so carefully constructs is beginning to crack, revealing a raw, unfiltered reality underneath. A world where even the most charismatic and admired figures are vulnerable to the ruthless games of power and control. Here, every secret is a bargaining chip, every friendly gesture a potential trap. The scandal has laid bare a disturbing truth about the nature of celebrity friendships. They can be as fragile as glass, capable of shattering into a million irretrievable pieces at the slightest provocation. And in this ruthless game, no one is truly immune from the fallout. In the end, this isn't just about a single scandal. It's a wake-up call for an industry obsessed with maintaining a flawless public facade. It forces us to ask how much of what we see in the limelight is real, and how much is a carefully orchestrated performance designed to hide the darker truths behind closed doors. As Hollywood grapples with these questions, the fallout from this incident could serve as a turning point, a moment when the very nature of friendship, loyalty, and personal autonomy is forced into the harsh light of day. So where do we go from here? As this scandal continues to spiral, it leaves us with more questions than answers. Will Hugh Jackman forgive this alleged betrayal, or is this the beginning of a fallout that could permanently alter the landscape of his personal and professional life? Can Blake Lively and Ryan Reynolds ever redeem themselves in the eyes of a public that now views their actions as manipulative and overreaching? And most importantly, what does this say about the price of fame and the precarious balance between public persona and private reality? In the end, the true tragedy of this saga isn't just the alleged setup. It's the unraveling of trust in an industry where every secret is fodder for scandal and every betrayal is magnified 1,000 times. It's a cautionary tale about the dangers of playing with someone's heart, where even the most well-meaning acts of help can lead to irreversible damage. As you sit back and let these revelations sink in, ask yourself, is this just another overhyped celebrity stunt, or does it reflect a deeper, more disturbing truth about the way power, control, and manipulation have become intertwined in Hollywood's glittering world? The drama unfolding here is more than just a headline. It's a mirror reflecting the complex, often ruthless nature of celebrity culture. It challenges us to rethink the boundaries of friendship and to question the price we pay for our obsession with the lives of the rich and famous. And as the evidence continues to surface and more secrets are laid bare, one thing is crystal clear. In Hollywood, nothing is ever as it seems, and every act of kindness might hide a dagger waiting to strike. So, what's your take? Is this a case of misguided concern turned into manipulative mischief? Or is it a calculated, self-serving power play that exposes the dark underbelly of celebrity relationships? The answers may be as elusive as the truth itself, but one thing remains undeniable. This scandal has set the stage for an explosive reckoning in the world of fame, friendship, and manipulation. And as we watch these stories unfold, we're left to wonder, in a game where loyalty is constantly under threat, who's really pulling the strings, and at what cost? There you have it, the full, unfiltered saga of a scandal that's as jaw-dropping as it is revealing. Keep your eyes peeled, because in Hollywood, the next twist is always just around the corner.